time to break on through to the other side. I'm your host, the unimpeachable President for life, Jeff Clayton. Got a lot of stuff to go over today. Let me get this right. Okay, there we go. All right. At 5 on the dot, live on the spot, you are here. So break on through. Let some people get in. I'll start talking about what all I want to talk about. And you know what? Fuck it! I'm going to go ahead and start now. Great soda. Nothing better. Well, I think it's safe to say that 2020 sucks. It fucking sucks. Little Richard, gone. One of my favorite R&B vocalists of all time. And you don't go, oh, my favorite female. No, she was one of my favorite R&B vocalists ever. Miss Betty Wright, the clean-up woman, gone. One of the last genuinely funny people on television, Jerry Stiller, gone. Last week, our good buddy Tom Cat Hughes, gone. But I'm tell y'all what, nothing got me ready for the way I woke up Saturday morning and had 2 missed calls at around 12:30 and 1:20 from our friend Crystal Smith, the fiance of old friend and original bass player Bill Cates. I told my wife, missed calls late at night, it ain't good. And it wasn't. Bill Cates is no longer with us. He was the original bass player of ANTiSEEN. Not only if you realize this, I realized this real quick, but the entire lineup that was on the Drastic EP, with the exception of myself, are no longer with us. Now I'm gonna tell you something about Bill Cates, man. He was more than a bass player. And when we reconnected, I reached out to him when the complete Drastic sessions came out, because he was the only one left besides me. And I was like, this is as good a time as any to reach out, And when I did, I found him to be very receptive to the idea, and man, we picked right up, just like all those years had being apart just disappeared, and just like 1983 again. And when we started reconnecting, you know, he was telling me what he's been up to, and you know, I told you Bill had some problems, but once he, you know, conquered his problems, he was one of these guys that go out and you know, talk to and mentor other people that are going through the same thing as him, and he told me that was very rewarding for him, and I was real proud of it. I was real proud of him for doing that. You know, when you can have a problem, you know, get through it, you know, and you go around telling everybody else, how, you know, how you got through it. And I imagine that's pretty inspirational. And I was real proud of him for doing so. And you know, I was looking at all the really nice posts and the tributes and stuff to him over the last few days, and I really appreciate it. I'm sure Crystal really appreciates it. Our whole family does. But I saw one in particular. It was just a little sentence, a phrase, and it summed up what I wanted to say to you today, and that is that you know, he would have gone through his life, you know, maybe telling people he used to be in a band. He told Steve Wenzel that, you know, and didn't think it was too important to anyone. But for him to come back in the fold and see something we created back in 1983, what, you know, 84, whatever it was, what it meant to people, and you know how important his role was in this thing that, you know, so many people all around the world love. And I think the phrase was, glad he got to experience some of that ANTiSEEN family love before he checked out, you know. And that's probably not word for word, but that's the gist of it, and I like that, and I am glad he got to experience it, you know, to see what dedicated fans we have, and how, you know, how that people really appreciate what he did for the band. Now, as you notice, I don't have Miss Clayton with me today. So, if you type questions now, I'm telling you, I can't read this very well. I'm not going to see them. But if you wait till the end of the history lesson, then I'll give you a chance to ask questions, and I'll field as many of them as I can. Yep, Miss Clayton has started back to work today, and we're real happy about that around here, because she has been out of work for nearly 2 months, I guess. We're glad. Speaking of questions, I know one question that you're all asking right now. The question you're asking is, Jeff Clayton, where'd you get that super bad Street USA hat? Where'd you get that Bad Street USA hat? And you know, if it looks this good backwards, think how good it's going to look when you have one and it's reading the right direction. Well, I answer the question. I got this from On the Mark Shirts. On the Mark Shirts. Instagram, Facebook. Big Cartel On the Mark Shirts. Big Cartel. I don't know all the dots and slashes and commas and all that, but if you go to Instagram or you go to Facebook, you'll find them. You'll know they're a good company. They hire me to do some of their designs, and you can walk around looking just like this. well, you know, tributes. I told you that another old friend got in touch with me recently and said that he was going to donate all that he had left of the Hellstomper One Take Motherfuckers Live as Hell LPs. And they are all signed from all 4 members of Hellstomper that performed on this album, which includes Mr. Tom Hughes. So, Ron Feldman, thank you, sir. It's a very, very generous thing you've done, and I know that Miss Christy Hughes is going to really appreciate this, but I have these now. There they are. 12-inch LPs. There you go. There you go. Mr. Tom Hughes autograph right there. All 4. All 4 members. A lot of songs on this. I have these. I have 30... Man, I think I have like 32 copies of it. Now here's the deal. I don't have these on the website yet. I don't know that I will have them there because usually when I advertise something on here, it goes pretty fast. I don't have time to get it up on the website. But if you want one of these, I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. I'm charging $30 for these. Now, you might think that's a little steep. But let me tell you something. You ain't getting a record signed by the Tomcat no more. Last one's right here. Look at it. Other than shipping and shipping costs, you know, all the proceeds are going to the Hughes family in weekly installments. So if you contact me here on Facebook or you just go straight to PayPal, $30. I know what it's for. Friends and family, you know, $30. Or you can drop me a little note, hey, Clayton, I ordered the Hellstomper, and I'll get this right out to you. All proceeds go to help Tom's wife and his son, Sam Whalen. And we would appreciate it as well as the family. Last time I left you, we talked about Steve Sadler's out. I already pointed up the stage. I told Barbecue and Goss. Tom O'Keefe called me this week and says, you know, I was standing beside you when you said that. I pointed at my brother. I said, right there's the next drummer of ANTiSEEN, right there. And I think after the show, we went to someplace to eat there in Wilmington and started laying the groundwork, you know, and I called my brother soon after, told him what my intention was, and would he be willing to move to the Queen City, a real city. Well, he did it. And while we were on, you know, a few of those last couple tours that we played with the Southern Hostility lineup, I was already writing the songs for Eat More Possum. I think on the Natural Disasters tour, I think on that tour alone, I wrote Stormtrooper, Break It Off, and I don't know, a couple more. You know, they were in a notebook that I had on that trip, and it didn't take long for the rest of it to come together. Animals was one of the best. Writing the song Animals Eat 'Em was one of the best and most enjoyable songwriting processes I think I ever experienced with the band. We were in our practice room, and I don't know if you've heard the story. I can't tell this story anywhere near as well as Malcolm Tent, but we were up there in Danbury, Connecticut, playing at the Trash American style record store, and Malcolm had some stickers in there, and I think Joe bought one that said, "Animals, love them, don't eat them." So we bought that sticker, and while everyone else was looking through all the albums that Malcolm had and videos and all that stuff, well, Joe's over there with a pair of scissors and arranging something on the van. The sticker now read, "Animals, eat them." We, of course, all got a big laugh out of that. I don't think Mr. Tent did. But he still covers that song to this day and on his solo shows, so he must like it. Mr. Tent actually has a good sense of humor, so he doesn't get upset about stuff like that. But anyway, with that sticker idea, about when back in Charlotte, we're writing songs for what will later turn out to be Eat More Possum. But we're on our practice room, and man, it's just like everybody had a line to go with the song. And man, it was just flowing out, and Joe had the thing about Gordon Liddy ate a rat and all that stuff. It was fantastic, and so that was very pleasurable. Also, too, in Honor Among Thieves, we had some in between song banter, and we didn't do it again until Eat More Possum, and then it has become like a trademark of our records. And a lot of that stuff is done by the Dean of Sods. The Dean of Sods really shines on Eat More Possum. I'll get into that later when we get deeper into the history. But Eat More Possum came from bumper stickers you'd see around here in the South all the time. You'd go down to Myrtle Beach, man, there'd be like gift stands, not the highfalutin ones there in Myrtle Beach, but the roadside ones on the way. And man, they'd sell canned possum. All it was dog food, just with 100% South Carolina possum, on the label. It was a damn good idea, I thought. But and they always had the stickers, Eat More Possum. Matter of fact, we got that title from a license plate that we bought on the way down to Myrtle Beach. And to this day, I have that license plate on the front of my Jeep. And I get people all the time walking by looking at it like, what the hell, man? It still kind of makes people go like, what does that mean? I love it. But I've got the license plate that we got that idea from. And when, a couple of our friends got wind of the fact that we're going to have this album called Eat More Possum, a friend named Mike Cook, I've probably mentioned him before, he says, "Man, I've got the perfect album cover." Oh, yeah? Yeah, man, me and my buddy Doug Presley, a few months back, before shutdown happened, lockdown happened, I was in Repo Records. I saw Doug Presley for the first time in many years. I posted a picture on this on my page of me and him standing there in Repo. But Doug Presley and Mike Cook were riding around in the wilds of Hickory one night, and they happened upon a possum that had just been freshly hit. And all they had was their car with the bright headlights on, and they just got out and took pictures of it. Even got down on the ground and did the front shot that's on the back of the album. And man, he handed me those pictures, and I was going, you know what? You're right. It is the perfect album cover. So that possum, you know, literally got the life knocked out of it on some highway or some back road in Hickory, North Carolina, was taken by my buddy Mike Cook and Doug Presley, both those guys. And we used it. In fact, those were taken from the actual prints. They, 4x5 prints that you used to get at drugstores and stuff. The record cover was taken from those. That's one record cover I don't think we'll ever change or do alternate versions of. And all. It's perfect. Perfect. Man, Greg was a natural. Greg was just a natural in the band, and I enjoyed it immensely having my brother in the band. I mean, it was something. When we started, he was a little kid. Like you're talking about, it's 1993 now. We've been in the band 10 years now. We've done 10 years worth of history. But I know damn well I leave stuff out and I mix stuff up, and I have to go back and tell you other stuff when it pops up in my head, because doing this, just talking to you with no one talking to me back, I kind of get lost. See, I'm about to get lost now from what I was talking about. But man, Greg had this kind of swing that we didn't have in the band before, and his style took the band to another level, in my opinion. And Eat More Possum is one of my favorite albums. I think most people call that our classic album. My favorite album is Here to Ruin Your Groove, but Eat More Possum is classic ANTiSEEN. Had some problems with it when we got it pressed, which I'll get into that in a minute. But 93, 94 was busy year for ANTiSEEN. We went back to Europe. I don't know that we toured the West Coast with that lineup. I don't know. Maybe Greg or Tom can correct me on that. We played a lot of places with that lineup. I know that damn much. But so Rave Records is putting out Eat More Possum. They asked me, so, hey, is there anyone that you would like to have produce this record? We're like, well, we don't like the idea of a producer, someone telling us, how to do things. We kind of have our own way of doing things at this point. 10 years in, a lot of records under our belt at this point. A few albums, shit ton of singles. And I said, but I would like to have someone come in and mix what we've already got, because I really like the way his records sound, and that was Jeff Dahl, original singer of the Angry Samoans. Solo artist. Very successful solo artist. So we ran that by the people at Rave, and they were like, no problem. Next thing, they asked Jeff Dahl, he's willing to do it. Jeff's willing to do it. They buy him a plane ticket, and it's happening. It is happening. Well, we recorded Eat More Possum at an actual studio. It was a home studio, but a studio nonetheless. It wasn't at Mama Clayton's. This one we went to Jeff Murdoch, a member of the Streets. He had a home studio up in Mooresville, North Carolina. And around this time is when, a little bit before is when the Gigi record was recorded. Which, by the way, I'm kind of jumping ahead of myself here because you got ANTiSEEN's history going this way. You got what we did with Gigi going this way. The Gigi record happened in 1991. Friday, I will tell you about the recording of Murder Junkies. Friday. Break on through to the other side. We'll tell you about recording the album Murder Junkies with Gigi Allen. And let me tell you, that is a hell of a story. You think meeting him and doing that first show with him was a hell of a story? Wait till you hear this story. All right. But anyway, back to 1993. So, you know, we've already recorded our basic tracks. Jeff comes and he does mix down with what he can. You know, I'm sure he would have preferred to been there for the recording and had some say in that. And in hindsight, I kind of wish he was, but we are the way we are. We do what we do, and man, Jeff was really pleased. At the end of the session, he wrote out some messages, some notes for the people over in Europe that was going to be putting this out first. I guess it was coming out on Zuma Records out of Munich, and it would come out in America on Rave, but first it was coming out in Europe because we're going over there to tour for it. And he wrote some notes to give to the pressing plant and to the mastering plant. You know, writing some EQ things, you know, and if they had followed this, it would have sounded exactly the way it was intended to sound. Well, we get over to Europe, and we meet Todd Cody over there, you know, and he gets us out our copies of More Possum. We're looking at it. Oh man, this looks great. This turned out great. And we get in the van, you know, and we're driving down the road. He's like, you know, the sound quality is pretty terrible on it though. And we're like, okay. So we rode around with copies of it for 3 or 4 days. We finally stayed at some place in Holland or Finland or somewhere. And Joe and I shared a room that night, and it was like people's house or something, but you know, they had lots of space for everybody. And we cracked open one of those damn CDs, man, and we popped it in, and we got through the Cosmo intro, and then, you know, the 4 count in Today Your Love, and we're just like, oh my God, this sounds bad. Well, we're not going to see the people at Zuma until the end of this tour, man, in Munich. And I think at some point I may have talked to him on the phone. I said, let me ask you something. You know, Jeff Dahl included some notes in here for the mastering people and pressing plant. And did any of that get paid attention to? The answer was no. It would have cost X amount more D-marks had we done that with the mastering plant and stuff, so we just let it go as it was. We're not going to see these people for like 3 more weeks. Here it is, like what, day 5 or 6? My blood's boiling. Got some good shows though. Oh yeah, we had some good shows. God damn, man, we finally meet up with them at the end of the tour. Now, look, the guy that put the label out, or had the label that put it out, Michael Zuma, he was a good friend of the band. He was a good fella, man. But, you know, they just kind of went and cut these corners on us. And, I mean, there was a reason why these instructions were in there. And it was important. We're at this place in Munich. I mean, I can't remember the club. I think it's something like Slaughterhouse or something like that. But always have great shows there. And man, we did the shows here. We did the My God gimmick, you know, with the cross and the crown of thorns. The show was so crazy and so over the top, man. We destroyed all our shit, and the audience refused to leave. We're already in the back room, you know, toweling off and having something to drink and everything, and they're just like, man, y'all got to play some more, and they're not going to leave. We had to go set our equipment back up. Like, Greg's out there putting his drums back up, you know, okay, we'll play some more. We've never done that before, you know, and we play, and man, at some point in the night, either at dinner or after the show or something, I don't know, we were having a meeting, and that guy, Michael Zuma, just says, yeah, the album's going to do well. I thought it sounded pretty bad, though. Oh, my God. I stood up, chair went back. God damn it. Well, I might have embarrassed my band members, I don't know. But I was just like, yeah, it sounded weak. It sounded like shit. But we gave specific instructions of what was to be done to avoid that, and they were ignored. So, I mean, Eat More Possum was repressed quite a bit, and then I guess when it came time for the Man's Ruin release, when we released Southern Hostility and Eat More Possum together, we did a complete and total remix of the album. Now, like always, there are people that prefer the original sound, and people that prefer the original, or the remix, with the new Cosmo intro. Now I'm asking you! When it comes time to put Eat More Possum back out again, because it's almost sold out, it's almost out of print. You can get it on CD, but I'm talking about that TKO treatment we give it. The royal treatment. I already know how you feel about Southern Hostility. I have heard the people, and I will do the people's bidding. But now let's talk about Eat More Possum. Do y'all want the remix with the newest Cosmo intro? Or do you want the original mix, but with Jeff Dahl's instructions followed from someone who knows what they're doing in the mastering world, with the original Cosmo intro from Maxwell's in New Jersey? Y'all gotta tell me something. Maybe you want both mixes. Maybe it's a 3-album set. Original mix, remix, whole album full of singles and live tracks from that period. Come on, you gotta tell me something. No, I see, they're coming in. Come on now. I see. This is going pretty much the way I figured it would go. I'm seeing a bunch of original mix with superior mastering. I think that's how we're going to do it. Okay. So, Malcolm, on his, not his last show week, but the show previous, he told about all the rigmarole about Eat More Possum, and TPOS ended up getting it in the States. Then TKO got it, and TKO still has it. Art Edinger says Eat More Possum box set. Man, I'm thinking that's the way we need to go there, because there's tons of live material from that European tour, I think, and I know there's some U.S. stuff. 1994. See, this is where this gets hard, because see, I have to tell you about a tour from 1994. ANTiSEEN Cocknoose Second Amendment Tour 1994. Now you want to talk about a fun, crazy tour? I told y'all a little bit about it. You know, the show in Lafayette, first show, where everything went to hell. But man, I gotta tell you about one show in particular. I think this was in Lincoln, Nebraska. Is that right? Lincoln, Nebraska. I think it was Lincoln, Nebraska. We were playing in this place, like a pizza place, had a side room for bands, you know, and man, there's a fucking blizzard in Lincoln, Nebraska. And even the people in Lincoln, Nebraska are like, man, this is going to be a bad one. And, then it turns out that the show is Cocknoose playing for us, and us playing for Cocknoose. I think one guy showed up. One guy showed up. I've got a board tape of this show somewhere. You're going, okay, so you got a board tape. What's the big deal about that? Well, okay, here's the big deal about that. Since we knew we weren't going to be playing in front of anybody, we decided to use this night to drink. And man, everybody drank. At this point in the band, everybody drank. Oh, there's Miss Clayton right there, calling me sexy. She says she misses me. I miss you too, baby. I wish you were here fielding some questions. Because I can't do it. Cactus Jack can't do it. He's just in there laying around. But, man, we got drunk as hell. Maybe we could put this out as a party record. Or, you know, a comedy album or something. Because it sucked. It sucked. But it was funny as hell. Now, Justin don't want this to come out and damage the Cocknoose legacy. Which I wouldn't put out his side. But, hell, I'll put out our side. God damn, that shit's funny as hell. Us arguing on stage, fucking songs up, starting all over. I mean, I don't know. What are you going to do? You might as well laugh about it. But, now, see, John Bridges giving it a yes there. Everybody likes fucked up show records, right? Am I right? Everyone likes that. Bootleg Series Volume 2. There you go, John Bridges. Yeah, we got something to do. That may show up on that good old Mystery School Records. But, shit. Yeah. See, all these things going on at one time that I can't tell all in one setting. Like, all I can tell you about in Sunday. Raw Shit Volume 2. There you go. There you go. Man, see, I love talking to you guys. I love bouncing ideas off people. This is how we do stuff. People think, well, it's just, you know, Clayton comes up with an idea and they just do what he said. Sometimes it's like that, but most of the time, we bounce ideas, you know, and when you're in this band, you can't get your feelings hurt when your idea gets like you come up with an idea, you may think it's, oh man, this is a great idea. Man, I got this idea. We do this, and that. And it might go through the general, Barry. But once it makes it through his desk, it's got to go to my desk, the unimpeachable president for life. And a lot of times, man, I got that big veto stamp out. Boom! Veto! We're not doing that. Speaking of my cabinet, we're going to have a big cabinet meeting tomorrow. Going to be ironing out all the logistics of the live ANTiSEEN show. We're going to be doing it right here on the ANTiSEEN Facebook page. It's not going to be a bunch of jerk-offs in different rooms all over the place. It ain't going to be a bunch of damn standing in our practice place and going, oh, we messed up. Isn't that fun? We're not going to be doing that. It's going to be the ANTiSEEN hurricane that you've all come to know and love. It's going to be the real deal. But like everything ANTiSEEN does, there's already snags. But you know what? We like snags. We welcome snags. Working through snags is what lets you know it's a damn good idea. David Price, what are you doing? You reading my damn mind or something? Have you got some kind of damn mind-reading trickery? I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be it. But you always got to have a plan B. You got to have a plan B. You got to have a plan C. Right now, I'll be meeting with my cabinet tomorrow. We'll be talking via cell phone and in person. Social distancing. And we're going to work it out. We're going to get the date. I got to get the crew. We got to make sure the crew people, the video guy, the sound people, everything. We all got to make all this happen together, and we're going to do it soon. Because if we do it after everyone's free from lockdown, so that's what we're going to try to do. The Barry's just trying to call me right here in my Go Live. And so that's what's going to go on with that. Well, as you can see, I'm kind of fucking trailing off. I don't know how long I've even talked. Have I talked long? Friday, I'm going to tell you about recording the Murder Junkies album with G.G. Allen. God damn, that's a crazy story. But, hell, I'm focusing on this thing now. If you got some questions for me before I sign off, go ahead and ask them. And if you don't ask them too quick, maybe I'll get yours. But a quick reminder. All the money goes to the Hughes family. $30. Once the shipping and shipping supplies are covered, all the rest of it goes to Christy Hughes. I have 30-something copies of it. And man, once those are gone, that's it. There won't be any more. Thursday night, we got a news show coming up called Reach Out, starring Mr. Tom O'Keefe. Now see, Tom O'Keefe, he can talk. That show is probably going to be 6 hours long. We a marathon show, but it's called Reach Out. It's a pretty good name. I know where he gets it. I'm not going to spoil it in case he wants to tell you where it comes from. But Yeah, next week we'll talk about recording Murder Junkies. And again, I just want to say how much I really appreciate all the tributes to Bill on Facebook and all, and the personal messages we got this week. Let me see. Gary K. You don't look like you scare easy. Yeah, I don't. Did hanging with Gigi ever make you nervous? Nope. I guess when we were upstairs in the rec room in Atlanta at one of his shows, and man, the owner of the rec room, who I guess he was in tight with Gigi, you know, he had some people he wanted to bring up, and I remember this woman just, you know, loudmouth, drunk, you know. They looked like real straight people. They didn't look like they belonged at a Gigi show, but I guess they'd heard about the spectacle and came out to see it. And, you know, we were all up there sitting around, and she kept on with this, yeah, you're just a farm boy from Iowa. And he goes, I'm from New Hampshire. And she's, oh, yeah. A little farm boy from Iowa. He's like, I'm from New Hampshire. Man, she did it one more fucking time. Little farm boy from Iowa. He picked up an entirely full pitcher of beer, doused it in her face, threw the pitcher at her. It was plastic, so it didn't that dangerous. And he goes, I told you I was from fucking New Hampshire. Now get the fuck out of here, you fucking bitch. You know, and the guys with her, they're not doing shit. They're not doing shit. Pussies. Anybody throw something on my woman, there's going to be a fight going on, son. You hear? They didn't do shit. The other girl with them didn't do shit. They're all just standing there covered in beer, just looking like a bunch of fools. I was nervous then. I was like, man, oh, this is going to fucking get nasty. And Gigi just kind of sits back down, you know, he's fuming. The guy come up, oh, Gigi, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. You know, whooping them all down the stairs. And I'm sitting over there just kind of... And I look over at Gigi. He looks at me. And man, it was just like when he got in the car with me and I was driving him to the hotel after he had caused, you know, fucking chaos at the Church of Musical Awareness in Charlotte. Exact same dynamic. And we start busting out laughing. But yeah, I was kind of nervous for a minute there. But no, as far as the show, man, you kind of knew what you were in for. I don't know how well that would have all worked today in the computer age. I mean, you know, I just kind of think there might have been somebody showing up with, you know, when you're completely prepared, maybe someone else comes even more prepared. I don't know. We'll never know that. But any more questions before I sign off? Break on through. And by the way, I think it's unanimous that we want, I think we want a Possum box set. Is that true? Is that what we're leaning toward? Let's see, we got one more question. I first read about ANTiSEEN in a fanzine called Kill the Scene, which is put out by a guy called himself Fishboy. Man, do you know who Fishboy is? That's Alan King! Well, folks, don't forget, Tom O'Keefe, reach out! Thursday night. Sunday, Malcolm Tent and his fireside history. We'll see if we can get Mad Brother Ward back on here. And in the meantime, I'm just going to keep on keeping on with Break On Through to the Other Side. And I'm spreading out them Gigi stories because, you know, we ain't Gigi Allen. Did you know that? We're ANTiSEEN, motherfucker. But next week, I'm going to tell you. Let's say Brandon, my right-hand man. See, at our shows, if you think I'm going to jump out and kick your ass or something, you're wrong. Brandon's the one who's going to kick your ass. He watches out for me. He told me to scroll up. Did you guys play the Rec Room? No, we weren't playing. We just went to the show. That was there were 2 Rec Room shows. The one that, around Valentine's Day. Brandon wants to know how about meeting Blowfly. Well, man, you know what? That's the Blowfly tour. Blowfly and ANTiSEEN tour is another episode of Break On Through. But I'm gonna tell you, I wish that tour had been. I was deathly sick that tour. Pneumonia. First time I ever learned the healing powers of azithromycin. I wish I had gotten to talk to Clarence a lot more, but what I did get to back and forth with him was a highlight of my life, honestly, because this guy has written some of the best music to my ears I've ever heard. I'm not talking about his dirty stuff. I know everyone thinks, oh yeah, rap dirty. No, I'm talking about, you know, songs that Betty Wright did, that Gwen McCrae, all that stuff that I love. You know, y'all are always sending me fucking bands with logos that I can't even read and stuff, but you know, that ain't what I listen to, man. You think I do, but I don't. I listen to that good old soul music, and I love that Miami sound. And that's why I'm, you know, on top of hearing all the other bad news this weekend, you know, about Bill, man, I've been kind of walking around numb about that since I heard the news, and then I find out Miss Betty Wright's passed away. I never got to see her, you know, and back to Bill. Whenever there's anything to talk about, services or anything like that, man, people, I don't know, people don't really do funerals anymore. It just seems, I don't know. You know, when I was coming up, a family member, people die, you know, you go to the family, you bring food, you do all much kind of shit like that. I don't know. Another tradition lost due to paranoia, hysteria, and fear. I'll pay for the doll. What the fuck doll are you talking about, son? That thing over there? That? You talking about that? You gotta tell me something. I'm about to check on out here. Is that what you're talking about? Cat got your tongue now, huh? Alright. Well, folks, thanks for coming. Thanks for listening to me a little bit. I know I was a little, I don't know, maybe a little vague today. I don't know. I don't know how much, like I said, man, I'll keep going with the history as much as possible. Christopher, I can't say you that. That belongs to Miss Clayton. That's her damn choir boy from the damn, like, 50s or 60s. I can't sell you that. I see you a Jeff Zilla poster, though, boy. Look at that. Right there. Oh, yeah. I got those on the website. Get you one of them, son. But, I'll keep doing history. If y'all want to hear history, I'll keep doing history. I like the fact that I get to hear Malcolm's take on some stuff because he talks about some stuff that I completely forget about. Russ brought up some interesting stuff that I don't remember. See, but Russ and I remember stuff completely different. Like when he does his blogs, I enjoy his blogs, which you guys should go back and read some of his blogs. I guess there's not much to write about right now, but I'll see if I can't get him to write something. But his memory of the show we just did, I'm just like, God, you didn't remember this part or this part? I'm just like, I can't tell the guy what to remember. I can't tell him what to write. But I think he does a fantastic job. And so, man, there's all kind of things we can do to stay in touch and stay informed and, to keep it rolling during the lockdown. Hell, man, you know what? We're going to keep this stuff going on beyond lockdown. I'm going to talk to y'all at least once a week, every week, for as long as you show up here to hear me. Fuck your poster, I want the doll. See that, boy? See that, son? That's for you, son. So, thanks. And I'll see you Thursday. No, that's Tom. I'll see you Friday when it's time to break on through to the other side.